All right, boys.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Memo podcast. This week we have our boy Mikey Reed. Say what's up.
What's up, homies?
homie.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude. I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you coming on. I'm not gonna lie to the listeners at home. This is our third time trying to record this fucking episode.
Yes, I was more lit in the beginning, but.
But either way, I'm glad you're coming on the podcast today.
Thank you.
This entire episode is going to be dedicated to your Europe trip.
Yes.
Because you just came.
You have to mention the fact that he's been wanting to be on here.
Yeah, Mikey, of course, you've been wanting to be on here since before I even uploaded the first episode to YouTube. You were like, bro, let me on that shit.
Since racetrack, Mikey.
Yeah, so we've known each other for fucking years, and it's come down to this episode, man. I'm excited about it. So go ahead, start at the beginning from your Europe trip, man. What made you want to go to Europe?
So, when I was in my junior year, I had a history teacher, and he had just like all of his trips, because he had gone backpacking, and he had pictures of his trip all over his walls, and the whole year I had him, he would tell me stories. And like one of the pictures he was just like running with the bulls, which is in Spain. Like he ironically ended up in Spain the day that they were running with the bulls. I'm like, that's cool as fuck. And he told me like just the differences between Europe and USA, and like he was just like sleeping on benches and staying in hostels and staying with people, and the way they were treating him, and I don't know, it just like
that stuck with you,
inspired you.
Yeah, it inspired me, and I'm already like an adventurous person. Like I like to do that shit. So I'd been wanting to go since I was in junior year, and I was like, what, 16, 17?
This is definitely something that was on your bucket list.
Yes. And I had plans to do it right after I graduated, and I was trying to get my EMT when I was in school, and then I got in a motorcycle accident, so that set me back. And then, just life hits you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just gets set back and set back and set back.
But this year's the year you finally got to go.
Yes, this year's...
Recently as fuck.
Yes, I just got back last week. So it's very fresh. One of the main reasons why I even went was because those of you who know Daniel, German Daniel, he is from Germany, and he moved to Texas, Keller, for like 6 months for his job. And he got a skateboard, and he ended up going to Roanoke, which me and Tony pulled up, and he was there, and he was like this lost puppy dog, and he was just like looking around and shit, and we were like, what's up, my dude? Like, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He had this accent. We were like, oh shit, where you from? And just automatically we became best friends. And then me being with him, 4 or 5 days a week, he just like told me about Germany, and I was already like telling him I wanted to go to Europe and backpack, and I don't know, I just fell in love with everything he was telling me about it, the culture. I love the language. Like, the language is just dope as fuck. Actually, I found out a cool fact. Did you know that Hitler was not even German?
Really?
Yeah. He was from, where is that? Where's Arnold Schwarzenegger from?
Dude, you're asking the wrong guy.
Y'all both looked at each other.
I mean, I'm sure that the audience can Google it.
Yeah,
wherever Arnold Schwarzenegger is from, that's where Hitler is from.
Yeah, he's not from German, and he's not.
I'll look it up
German
real quick.
descent.
So.
It's like, he's from Austria.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's from. He's from Austria. Yeah, but the Germans were too dumb.
That's like similar. It's around there.
I mean, no.
No?
No.
I have no idea, dude.
No, not at all. But still, I thought that was a cool fact.
So you met Daniel.
So I met Daniel, and
it was like destined to be.
Yeah, like that re-amped me, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? So once he was here, he told me that I can come whenever I want to, let him know, and I was like, I'm gonna see your bitch ass next year.
Did you think he was playing? Did you think it was like...
No.
Just
not
like...
at all.
No?
No. I knew he, like, do you think... Are you saying, did I think he was fucking around?
Just like, oh, dude, come visit whenever, you know?
Not
like,
at all. Not at all.
You knew he was genuine about it?
We have, like again, you just have to go to see what I'm trying to say, but people are so much different. They're more about their word, like, he just has a different vibe about him, and he was just, like, telling me, like, hey, man, whenever you want to come, like, he was more serious about it. He wasn't just like, yeah, bro, like, come on through. You're welcome whenever. You know, he was just like, seriously, like, whenever you want to come, I have an extra bedroom for you, this and that and this. And that conversation came up so many times while he was here. I think even if he was fucking around in the beginning, he eventually was serious because...
it motivated you even more to want to.
Yeah. So I got my my mom did my taxes. She's like a manager at a hospital, and she just like does that kind of shit. So she does my taxes hella early, and when she does them, I forget about it, and then 3 months later, there was just like a fucking check at my door, and I was like, oh fuck, what am I gonna do with all this money? And so I was just like, I'm gonna go to Europe. I'm gonna go backpack. And it was perfect because I just got my EMT. Finally got my EMT. I graduated.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Congrats, bro.
Appreciate it. It's been too fucking long. I've just been being a kid and fucking up, and I finally just sat down and I was like, I'm gonna do this. So got my EMT, and I start in June. But at the time that I made the trip, I was gonna start in April 3rd. Or, I'm sorry, May 3rd. I was gonna start May 3rd.
So you postponed it a little bit.
No. I said I'm gonna go to Europe now because
you won't be able to do it later.
I won't be able to do it later. So that was another thing that like sparked
pushed
my
you
stuff too.
to.
Yeah. And so I work at Bottle Cap Alley now, and that's just like, you know, a restaurant, and everyone there is very chill. So
yeah, you said your manager actually helped you book the flight, right?
Yeah, I told my manager, I was like, I just got all this money and I want to go to Europe, but I don't know like what flight to do. And she was like, oh, let me help you up with this app. And I forgot what app it was. But it literally, like, showed you the cheapest prices for wherever you were going. And I had no idea where I wanted to go.
You need to hurry up and give us that link, bro.
Yeah. I didn't actually use that link. I just went to... I ended up just Googling flights.
Mm-hmm.
And got lucky somehow.
Yeah, I just got lucky. But... So that's what motivated me to go. So... I get my money, and I told my mom, and she was like, "Are you serious? Like, you're really gonna do this?" I was like, "Yeah." And really, like, I don't think she believed. I didn't think she really.
It's not like she disapproved. She just
she
didn't think you were serious.
She just didn't think I was serious because there were steps to this that were like very lengthy. Like, I've never had a passport, so I was gonna have to get a passport, and I didn't know where I was going. Like, I knew I wanted to go to Germany, but I also wanted to go backpacking. Like, I was gonna stay with Daniel for a week in Germany. So, well, I didn't really know how long I was going to stay, but I ended up staying with him. So I really wasn't going to get the backpacking experience. So that's why I chose London. And also because the plane ticket was only $670 round trip.
Great
so I was
deal.
like, I'll take that and I'll go backpack in London. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I ended up going to London for a week, and I got my flight going, and I had 2 weeks until I took off. And so in that week, I got like a credit card. I just saved up every dime I had from work, and then it worked out great because I got my truck through a loan shark, and that loan shark I pay like every month. And I told him my situation, and I was like, "Hey man, like I'm about to go do something like a once in a lifetime experience for some people, you know, like nobody just picks up and goes out of the country and like, gets to go backpack."
Yeah, you didn't plan this.
Yeah, I didn't plan it at all. I was just like, I just really want to do this before I start getting my career going. And after I get my career going, then I'm going to be able to pay you, you know, 4 times what I'm doing now. And he was like, no, I'm not worried about that. Like, we'll actually take 2 months and put it behind. So when you get back, you don't have to struggle or anything like that. You can just start off from scratch.
Your Jeep.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my Jeep. It was like $7,500. Then he gave me $10,000, and then I flew to Vegas to get my Jeep, and then I shipped it back. But anyway, so it worked out great because just like I did this spontaneously. My mom didn't think like I was serious, but then I started making movement, and I got my bills figured out, so I didn't have to worry about that while I was there, and I could save every dime I had to do this trip. And so I went to go get my passport. I thought that was going to be like hard as fuck, but you just go to the post office and tell them you want a passport, and they're like, all right, cool. Usually it comes in regular. Like I ended up paying almost $300 because I had it expedited. Usually it takes like 2 months for your passport
to get it
come
quicker.
in. Yeah. come in quicker. Like I wanted it in 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
so I had it expedited, and it was almost $300. So that was a big expense I wasn't looking forward to, or like I didn't think about. And then all my equipment, like I didn't have a backpack, so I wanted to bring my skateboard, and they consider it a weapon on the plane, so I couldn't take it as just like a carry-on. So I had to take it in a bag. A bag costs way more, than a carry-on. So I had to get a big-ass bag. I had to get, some clothes and just random shit, just get ready for it.
Yeah.
So for everyone listening, how much do you think you spent on the, the preparing and...
Preparing?
And how much you took with you? Because I know it was pretty cheap for you to do it.
I went there with about $1,200, and I was fine the whole time. Like I could have came home with money in my pocket, but I spent it on threads because I like clothes. Mm-hmm. And also, later in the story, my homie works for a big skate shop, so I got half off of everything in the shop. So I splurged out on clothes.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get the chance to go, to Europe all the time. So
exactly.
You're obviously gonna, use some of that money while you're there.
A little bit.
Exactly.
So after I started taking these steps, my mom actually was like, "All right, you're actually doing this." And then it was kind of scary. Now that I think about it, whenever I was looking at the flights, there's like 3 different flights you can choose from, mm-hmm. and I'm about to spend $670 on a flight. And as soon as you click that button, you're going.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw the flight, and I ran it by Daniel. I was like, hey, I'm going to stay in London for this week, and then this next week I'm going to come see you, and just to make sure like everything was clear, like I was good on his part, like, staying with him, no problems, all that. After all I thought was good, I clicked the button. And then it was like, thank you for your purchase. Yeah, and then it was like, it was official. And I was like, God damn.
No going back now.
They're going back. I just spent $700. I'm doing it. And so now that I think about it, that hit me. And I was like, holy fuck. And the clock started now. And so I got that done. And then I got my passport. And my mom was like, holy shit, you're actually doing this. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. And she didn't really like give me any advice really, because she's never done that. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, a lot of people now that your mom's going to tell all of her friends and all this, so she got advice from other people, and she was like, tell them to look out for this, tell them to look out for that, do this, do that, blah blah blah.
So what were the little things that they told you? What they told her to tell you?
It was just like typical shit, like don't trust anybody. Trafficking is big over there, which is very true. But me, I'm kind of stubborn in a way, and I don't like taking in information that's gonna like ruin my trip,
Yeah.
But I'm very aware of things around me. Like I'm a smart kid.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't too worried.
When she said trafficking, you mean like
a lot of people are like snatched up over in Europe.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Then they're just putting trafficking.
Oh, okay.
And so that's a big thing. So, but I wasn't like letting that get in the back
bad
of my
energy
head.
type shit.
Yeah, I don't like to put my energy towards that. So anyway, so once the word got out, like my mom's friends and people, and I'm telling people like I'm about to do this, like it still was like settling in, like this 2 weeks going by.
It wasn't real until you got on that plane,
Exactly. I was like, holy fuck. And so I'm preparing. I got all my money situated. Got where I'm staying at for Germany. I got that figured out. And then, I don't know if y'all know. I know my main friends know, but I didn't have a phone for like.
This motherfucker walked around with a fucking iPad for like the longest time.
I didn't have a phone for like a good year and a half, and mainly it's because I noticed like I was always on my phone all the time, and like I would go to places and everyone was on their phone. I was always on fucking Instagram or Snapchat or just dumb shit.
You just said fuck it.
And I just turned my phone off, and
I feel like that's something people need to start doing.
Yeah, they do, man. And it's really cool because then whenever you're out of tune, you start seeing shit like more. You start interacting in life more, honestly. And like, I'm kind of exaggerating. It's not that bad. But you know what I mean. Like, if you're not talking to anybody, you're on your phone. And if you're at a restaurant and everyone's
Eating, they're on their phone.
Yeah.
Even, and I know I've talked about it with you before. Going to a concert, everyone's looking at. They're looking at the
That's
artist
one of the most annoying
through their phone instead of enjoying the show.
Yeah.
That's one of the most annoying things is like hanging out with people and just constantly sitting
and they're on their phone, man. It's fucking rude, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I didn't have a phone, and the only reason why I had an iPad is because when I started my EMT class, I had to have a computer for the classes online when I was doing my homework. So I got an iPad, and then eventually just started bringing that everywhere. So I just had a big ass iPad, but I didn't call anybody, and it was nice, my dude. When you don't get phone calls, and like for instance, when you're at work or some shit, and you tell people you don't have a phone, nobody's calling you for like, can you pick up my shift and all that shit. Like that don't happen, and like just in general, like people don't call you, people don't message you. It's like I'll get a hold of you if I need to. You know? And that was like cool. That was really cool. It did suck in some situations, like when you're trying to find your friends out at the bar and they're like, oh, we're here, but they're moving around and you're just like,
so you cut your phone plan?
Yeah, I didn't have a phone plan. And my mom bitched at me for the longest, and everyone bitched at me for the longest. And they were like, if something happens, you won't be able to... Hey, well, fuck it, everybody has a phone. I'll be able to get in contact with you, But, so, my mom, that going to, my mom would not let me leave the country without a phone. So I got a phone. I got a new iPhone, and so I get on the plane, I got taken to the airport, and it's my mom, my dad, and my grandmother, and we went and ate before we left, and just to say like our goodbyes, blah blah blah. You never know, like something could happen. I could not come back, So we just kicked it for a little while, and then said all my goodbyes and shit, and then I jumped on the plane. I was like,
is that when it hit you?
Yeah.
Like you're like, all right, this is happening.
Yeah, but I was uber excited. Like I was like, holy fuck, I'm about to go out of the country, my dude. And another thing, another thing that people told me to do is to wear a fanny pack, because this is mainly a thing in France, really, and like there's a few other countries, but they're big in pickpocketing.
Oh yeah.
They'll rob the shit out of you. Yeah, and they're really good at it. There's like, you'll be in a huge crowd, and there'll be like 3 or 4 people that know each other in this crowd, and then somebody will get your attention like, hey, blah blah blah, and at the same time another guy will come by, snatch your wallet, another guy will come by and just like hit you on the shoulder or some shit to like get your attention off of it, and like they're really good at that.
I've seen that. I've seen it sounds so stupid, but I watched like a little like documentary on YouTube.
Yeah,
and now that I think about it, they were from like UK or whatever.
Yeah. And so I talked to a few people and that were from Europe, and they were just like, get you a fanny pack, go to the bathroom with it, go to everywhere you go. Yeah, carry it right in front of you. Don't let it out of your sight. Especially because you have your passport in there, and people will take your passport. They'll leave everything else but your passport because they'll sell your identity over there.
Yeah.
And they make bank off of it. So that was another big thing. But anyway, so I get on the plane and it settles in, and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm going to Europe. And I started in London. I land and...
Now, hold on, you're skipping too much. You said this plane was a shitty ride, or it was a shitty experience, was it not?
So I got very lucky, and those of you that know, $670 for a round trip to across the country or across the world is damn good. But what came with that is the shitty fucking ride. The first way there, going to London, was 8 hours. And I was already pumped, so it wasn't like too bad. Like I was still excited, and I didn't let that like get me down. But I was stuck between 2 fucking people, and they were older, and it's literally like a movie where you see it, and people fall asleep on you and shit, and you're out here nudging people, and you're fucking tight squeezed, and it sucked ass. But they gave me free alcohol as much as I wanted.
That got you through it?
Huh?
That got you through it?
Yeah. I had some drinks, and they give you everyone has a TV, so I was able to like watch TV and like.
So you were so pumped you stayed up throughout the whole trip?
Yeah. Even on my way back, I still slept, or I stayed up the whole time. But I just can't sleep on a plane. But so on the way there, I was already like too excited. I didn't let it get me down. I'm watching TV, doing my thing, getting drunk as fuck, and they feed you. They feed you twice, like 30 minutes after you get on, and then 30 minutes like before you get off. So it wasn't the best food. It was actually pretty shitty, but still, they fed you.
For $6.70, that's a good ass fucking.
Exactly. So I couldn't complain. So I get off, and I'm like weirded out because the pilot is just like, we're about to land. As soon as we land, everyone will be connected to service, and you can finally get on your mobile devices. Because I guess the towers, when you're up in the air, you don't get service. So I was like, all right, cool. And everyone's on their phones and shit, and mine is just still saying no service. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I get off the plane, and it's still like no service. And then it hit me like, I guess I don't get service here? I didn't know.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, a lot of places you have to tell the company that you're going out of town. Like that, when I went to Mexico, I had to go into Sprint and let them know, hey, I'm going to Mexico.
Right.
I'm surprised that you got the phone because you were going on the trip. That it didn't come up.
And it didn't fucking work. Yeah, they didn't tell me. Like the whole reasoning when we called, we were like, my mom like distinctly said, hey, my son's going out of the country. He had a previous phone plan, but we're like backing it up and blah, blah, blah. Somebody should have said, and like there was a lot of issues with that. Like there's another fucking story dealing with people on the phone. But anyway, we had to explain the story like 4 or 5 times to like different people. And so you would have thought they would say, somebody would have been like, oh, you might need this plan because you're going international. Nobody fucking said that. So I had no idea. So I get there, no service. I'm like, fuck. And I wasn't too worried about it. I was just like, maybe I'm just in a weird place. I don't know. And so I go through customs, and that's before you get bags. You have to go up to customs and give them your passport. And the lady that I dealt with, she was just like staring at her computer, and she was just like very rude. And she was just like, why are you, or she, give me your passport. Huh?
Yelp report.
Yeah.
Come on now.
She was like, let me see your passport. So I was like, here you go. And automatically, like, if you see me, like, I just have a big smile, and I'm just like, here you go. Like, here's my passport. And so she grabbed it, and she was like, why are you here? And I was like, oh, I'm backpacking, and then I'm going to Germany in a week. And she was like, can I see your reservation? Where you're staying
and
here.
She doesn't care about you at this point
at all. She's like, she's just asking her normal questions. She's just being a bitch, and like she does this all day, every day, and she's just ready to go the fuck home. And I'm just all smiling and shit. I'm like, I'm in a new country, my dude.
Excited.
Like, we're already texting like hospitality, like I'm already being nice as fuck.
Yeah.
Giving all this great energy, and she's just like, give me your shit. Like I just want to know where you're doing. And so she's just like, where are you staying? And let me see your reservation. And I was like, I don't have one. And she was like, so where are you staying? And I was like, I don't know yet. And she like literally just like looked at me, and she was like, are you fucking serious? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm just backpacking and I'm just doing it. And it was spontaneous. And she was like, are you aware like how big London is, and like you don't have anywhere to stay? And I was like, well, I was gonna stay in a hostel, I imagined, and just kind of figure it out as I go. And then after that, she like let up a little bit, and she was more polite and gave me like a list of hostels. And
when she realized that you were that lost puppy.
Yeah, exactly. And she told me like cool places to go, and she wrote it all down, and it was like fucking chicken scratch. I couldn't even read it out at the end of the day.
And she even told you something about your camera too, because you.
Oh yeah, she told me, she was like, after she asked, like, are you fucking serious? I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of like going. She was like, well, first off, you need to take that camera off your fucking neck, because that's the best way to get mugged. And I was like, god damn, like, I didn't say god damn, but I was just like in my head, like, seriously? Like, fuck.
So you're thinking this is like a rough place?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think this was, maybe that's why it was $670, like,
yeah.
god damn. And, so I I did what she said, and that's why I didn't vlog everybody.
Yeah, I
told-
asked Mikey, like, bro, do a vlog, and he didn't do it. So.
Yeah, I just didn't. And also, I was like skating most of the time I was there in the streets, and like whenever you're skating, you don't want to carry a fucking camera. Like, you never know.
And you're by yourself. It's not like
Exactly.
someone's like behind you recording it.
And like if I'm at a skate park and I want to set my shit down, like it just wasn't safe, you know. And so yeah, she told me to take my fucking camera off my neck because I would get mugged. And but like I said, she eventually got nice, told me where to go, blah blah blah. So I walk out of customs, I go get my bag, and then I'm still kind of lost because she like spit all that information out to me like really fast, and I was just ready to get the fuck out. You know, I'm ready to go play. And I'm looking around.
So you weren't even really paying attention to what she was
No,
saying?
I was, but she was just going through it so fast and telling me all these places.
She didn't really give you time to like
sink it all in.
Yeah.
You know, she was just like saying all these foreign places to me, and she was trying to explain the train station. And, like, you can take this line to blah, 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 and that line takes you to here. That line goes all the way to there, and here is there. And it was just so confusing. I was just like, all right, cool.
Was it overwhelming?
Yes. Her information?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's why I was just, like, trying to get out. And, so, but she did give me a piece of paper. I never used that piece of paper once. But anyway, I get out to the airport front, and there's like this cute girl standing in like a little pamphlet area, and I was like, oh, what's up, homegirl? And I walk over to her, and I was like, hey, I've never been here. How you doing? And she had like her little accent, and I was like, god damn, homegirl.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. And, she was just like, yeah, here's a map for you. And then we ended up like talking, and she gave me literally all the information homegirl did, but in a way more efficient way. And she was cute too, so I was just more intertwined with the conversation. And she told me to get an Oyster Pass, which an Oyster Pass is for the subways, which they use subways there more than anything. Like, that is the main piece of transportation.
Like, they don't have Uber over there.
They don't have Uber. They don't have Lyft. The only thing they have over there is taxis, train, and the double-decker buses, the big red ones that you see on TV. Those are pretty cool. And the same Oyster card gets you the subways and the buses. They're all on their own, like, little lines, like map lines. So I went to get my Oyster card, and it's just like this little ATM machine. It looks like an ATM machine. You tell the machine, like, what you want the Oyster card for, because there's different plans for it, you know. And I ended up just staying for a week, so I just got like a little temporary card, and I put 30 pounds on there because that's what the girl told me to put on there, just because I wasn't going to be here long. And this thing spits out a card. You got 30 pounds, which is like $40. And I took off to the subway, and that had me fucked up. I got so lost on the subways like multiple times, and because once you learn it, it's so easy to like see what you're doing. But I've never been on a subway.
You never even been on a train.
Yeah, I've never even been on a train, so I had no idea how to decipher this fucking map. And but then I figured out where I wanted to go. I just wanted to go to London City, and it's a line called Piccadilly Line, and it's like one of the famous train lines that you go through. And it's like 30-minute ride from the airport to London City where I was going. And while I'm in there, you don't forget, like, I have this big ass backpack on, so I just scream like tourist all over me. So I walk in the train, and people are just like looking at me, not like looking at me like, who the fuck are you, but just like kind of just like,
notice you.
You don't belong.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, exactly. They know I'm not supposed to be here.
They know you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Exactly. And I'm just like, and also I look like a little kid, like lost as shit, because I'm just like looking everywhere and shit. I'm just like looking at the maps, just like, where the fuck am I going? And like, I just give all the signs.
And no one tried to help you?
Yeah, nobody tried to help me. But I just get all the signs, or I just give all the signs that I'm a tourist, shit. And so I get to London City, and I haven't seen London at all because I've been on a plane. I didn't see outside the plane because because I was in the middle aisle. When I get in the airport is not in London City. Like, it's a whole different image, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So once I get out the airport, I'm going in the subway, so I didn't see outside much at all.
The subway's underground.
Yeah, exactly. And so once I get to my station, I walk up the stairs, and then it's just like, boom, like London hits me. And I'm in the middle of London City. There's just like double-decker buses, old-fashioned. There's like old-fashioned taxis going by. There's like the telephone, the little red box telephone things. Yeah, like those are around, and it's literally like New York. Like in the middle of New York, there's screens all over the buildings, and people are fucking walking everywhere. And cops, they have like their little outfits on. They look goofy as shit. They look goofy as fuck. And it was just really cool. It was just like, damn, like I'm in fucking London, my dude.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I needed to do was I needed to get Wi-Fi, because that's what I was most worried about. It was like 12 when I arrived in London City and walked out the station. So I only had like so many hours to like get my shit together and find out where I'm staying. And I still needed to like call my mom and all them to tell them like I landed safe, all that good shit. So I tried to find the biggest or a McDonald's. And I walked.
When did you realize you had you weren't able to contact anyone?
When I walked out the airport, I was just like, "Yep, I'm fucked."
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I talked to the girl that gave me the map, the cute one that I was talking to. I was like, "Yeah, and I don't have service," and she was like, "Did you like?" I forgot what she said, but she pretty much
thought you were dumb.
Yeah. She gave me a look, and I was just like, "No, I."
She's like, "You're lucky you're cute." She's like, "You are dumb, boy."
And so she told me I could go and get a SIM card, and on that SIM card you can buy it for like $30, and it'll, you can just put it in your phone, and then you'll have service. And I never did that, because I was just too worried about.
Did that freak you out, knowing that like you don't have service and you're like you don't know where you are right now?
No, because I had already been out without a phone for so long. It was just
But it's a difference, because you're in Texas, you're in at least surroundings that you're somewhat familiar with.
Right.
Over here, you're in a completely different country.
Yeah.
That didn't freak you out at all?
A little bit. It started scaring me whenever McDonald's didn't let me connect to Wi-Fi. Because McDonald's gives free Wi-Fi, so I was like, why the fuck is my phone not letting me connect?
Mm-hmm.
So then I was just like, I mean, I wasn't scared, because I knew I can just talk to somebody and be like, hey, where's the nearest hostel? And I could just, I would have been fine, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just frustrating to the point where I had already had this big ass backpack I'm carrying. I've been lost for the past hour. I don't know where I'm going, and it's just like, fuck, I just want to like set my bag down and lay in a bed for a minute, you know? That's what I wanted the most. It wasn't really the fact of like not having service. I just needed Wi-Fi. So I find the McDonald's, couldn't connect, but their McDonald's are fucking huge. Like I was saying earlier, it's like our McDonald's times 12. There's like 2 stories, and it goes underground, and it's completely packed. Can't connect to Wi-Fi. Everywhere, I never ate there because I don't eat McDonald's, but apparently all McDonald's like taste differently. I don't know if that's true. And every McDonald's in every country has like a special Big Mac or something like that. Like it's, I don't know, I forgot.
It's like specific. It's like specific to that
country.
Okay.
You should have tried it for the culture, dude.
I wanted to. But like, I just never. There was so much good food
no interest in that.
God, the McDonald's is nasty.
Yeah,
no
I
interest
was like,
in
fuck
that.
McDonald's.
Yeah, I've had McDonald's forever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that shit.
So I go to the Starbucks. I was able to connect to Wi-Fi, so I was like, God damn, cool. And there was no seating inside, but I was sitting outside, and I was able to like put my bag in a corner and like sit right behind my bag, or sit in front of my bag, so I didn't have to worry about somebody fucking robbing me. And I called my mom, told her I was there. I like FaceTimed her and showed her like what London was, and there was just like old-fashioned taxis going by, and like,
what was her reaction?
she was so excited for me. She teared up a little bit. She was like, I'm so happy for you. Like, I know you've been wanting to do this for such a long time.
You've been talking about it for so long, yeah.
Yeah, and then like I changed the camera to me, and like I just had this huge smile on my face, and I was
Like right
I'm
now.
doing it.
I think even like when I first met you, I think this has been a goal of yours.
Yeah,
is
man.
to backpack.
Yeah, it's just I just always wanted to do it, and so she was hella excited for me. I called my dad, and he gets excited, but it's kind of like hard to impress him, you know. And after I FaceTimed him, he just like, he had a smile like mine. He was just like, I'm so fucking happy for you, dude. Like, that looks so fun. And you're just like, just be careful, you know, and just enjoy your time. And so after I contacted them, and I was like, I'm straight with them, I needed to find a hostel. And I ended up looking at hostels, and there was a few around me in London City, but in London City, they were so expensive. They were like £50 a night, and it was just hella expensive. So I went outside of London
And
City.
for those that don't know what a hostel is,
So a hostel is really, it's like a hotel, but you don't get your own room. You get a huge room, but it's bunk beds, and you sleep with like 12 people into a room.
And I know you described it as kind of like a dorm.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dorm. It's got a dorm vibe to it, and it's not, I don't know. It's not what you would think. It just depends on each hostel. But for instance, my first one I stayed at, it was very comfortable. Like, you would think sleeping in a room with 12 people would be very just like, the way I even thought of it, I was like, this is gonna fucking suck. But it wasn't like that at all. Like, people are very
Respectful.
Respectful about everyone, and like nobody's going in there and just like yelling and shit. Like, nobody's having conversations in there. Literally, your room is for you to sleep, get ready in the morning, do your thing. And like, they have curtains, so like light can't come in. And in all the beds, they have like little lamps in there. And to that lamp, there's like a charge port. Which, another thing, that's in Germany, I think. But all their outlets are fucking different. Like, weird as fuck. I couldn't charge my phone for a while. Like, Daniel had to give me one in Germany. They're literally like, fuck, I can't even explain it. They're not convenient sized at all. Like, our regular plugins are like 2 inches. Theirs are like 5. And it's like 3 big ass prongs that go in. And it's just weird as shit. And I was like, that is not convenient as fuck. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. But in London, you know, where you can like, you know, the little box that you have on your iPhone charger, you know, the USB port.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a USB port. So they had one in your bunk. So that was convenient. And so anyway, get to the hostel, and I paid £100 for 6 nights, and £100 is like $150 or 140, something like that.
Which that is really good for 6 nights.
Yeah.
Saying that it was like you could have paid like £50.
Exactly. And not only that, but that was like one of the best that was one of the best hostels to stay at. And
so how'd you find that deal?
I was just online looking at hostels, and I just looked up all the ones that were around me, and that one came up.
So were you looking for like the cheapest, and it ended up getting like the best one?
Yeah, pretty much. I was looking for one, and it was £14 a night, and then I guess because I was staying there 6 nights, it like, I don't know, I didn't care. £100, I was like, fuck it, that's like most of my trip, so that means I don't have to worry about packing up and leaving and having to find somewhere else. Like, I can just make that home base, set my shit down, and I'll be good to go do whatever I want. And £100 was like,
and probably like buying it in like quantity. You got it for cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Since you were spending like a while there.
Right. And so that was more than enough for me. So I was like, I booked it, and I took off in the train, got lost on the train for like an hour, and finally got to my station that I needed to be at. Then I walked like 5 minutes to my hostel. And, oh yeah, that's a weird thing. I forgot when I got to London and I got to London City, they drive on different sides of the fucking roads. So I was looking on the wrong side of the cars, and I was like, who the fuck's driving? And then I eventually, like, you know, 2 seconds later, I was like, oh shit, were they like drive on the other side of the car too?
That threw me all the way off.
Yeah, my dude. And like crossing streets and shit, like I look right automatically, and you have to look left for people coming the other way.
Yeah.
And so like I almost got hit a couple of times. Like, I saved somebody from, like, getting hit.
Really?
Because he was from France, and he didn't really know anything. And, like, he almost literally got smashed by a bus, and I had to, like, grab him and pull him out. And, like, it was nuts. Like, a lot of the people that I was with.
Was that the biggest culture shock? Like, people driving on the wrong side of the road?
Yes. And, like, people driving on the other side of the car, too.
Yeah.
And double
That would throw me the fuck off,
dude, it was just weird. I was like, y'all are strange. And everyone around them.
I think we are strange.
What? Us?
Yeah.
We drive the same as everyone else. London is the only people that really do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I figured it was like everyone else did that shit.
Mm-mm. No, it's just us. Like in Germany, they do the same thing.
But if you think about it, like the right just seems like that's the way it's supposed to be.
The right is the right way.
Yeah, exactly. That just seems like that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And if you try to drive on the left side of the road, like, this is weird. Like,
Yeah.
why are we doing this?
Yeah.
So-
And then you have to think about, like, just all the... Everything that you learn in driving class is switched opposite.
Mhm.
Like, when you need to look left, you have to look right. And it's just, like, it's weird as fuck. It's the simplest thing. It's just switched, but that fucks with my head. I wouldn't want to drive there.
Mm-hmm.
But,
You
anyway.
didn't have to at all? You
No,
didn't run a car
no.
or nothing?
No, fuck that. And everywhere subways there. When I went to Germany, I was with Daniel, and he had cars, and like we drove on the autobahn and shit. But I'll get to that later. But yeah, so I found my hostel, 100 pounds. I literally get there and I look at the building because it's just like this big ass building by itself. It looks like a huge mansion, and that's the way you could explain it. It's not even a building; it's like a huge mansion, and it looks like Hogwarts, like from Harry Potter type shit.
Mm-hmm.
And all the architecture is just like really cool as fuck.
Like old-timey type castles almost.
Yeah, and like I'm so like just interested in looking. I like tripped through the front door and
Your fucking backpack dragging you
yeah,
down.
backpack almost drags me down and shit. I'm like, what's up? And the lady that was taking care of me at the front desk, she was like Australian or some shit, I don't know. And she was really cool, but she just told me she told me where the bar was. There's a bar in the hostel, which was really cool. I had my first German beer there, and
Oh, so it wasn't with Daniel.
it wasn't with Daniel now that I think about it. But I don't remember what it was called. But it was good. It was good as fuck.
So they didn't have Bud Light, Budweiser,
Actually,
Coors Light.
they had Budweiser on tap.
Well, Budweiser's from Germany.
I heard that.
Budweiser's
always
from
thought-
Germany. But they didn't have Michelob Ultra, Shiner. They didn't have...
And
Bud Light.
when I drink Dos Equis mainly. Like that's really all I drink. So
They didn't
like,
have any cerveza?
No.
Well, that's imported from Mexico. So.
Yeah, exactly. And so it like threw me off like drinking dark beer like that, you know. So the lady gives me a rundown on everything, and there's like the bar, and then she tells me where the bar is, and then
It ended up being right across from your room, right?
Yeah, the bar was right across literally the hall. Like I'm the only room. Like usually there's rooms in hallways, you know, or yeah, rooms are in the hallways, but mine was like off in the corner, and then right across that was the bar door.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it was cool. So she told me where that was. They had a laundromat. They had a kitchen where you could go buy your groceries and go cook your food if you wanted to.
Yeah.
They had a room when you first walk into the building. There's a room right in front of you, and that's like the lounge, like just the chill lounge. Like there's a like a long table across the wall for people to be on their computers, and there's couches everywhere. It's really just like a lounge area.
Yeah.
And then down next to the bar, it's attached to it, but there's like a game room. They have like a pool table. Oh, their pool tables are so weird. They call it man, I hate that I have a shitty memory. Snooker. They call it snooker. Yeah. And their tables are way smaller than ours.
Mm-hmm.
They're like 4 inches off. Of like 4 inches all the way around the table, smaller. And then their balls are also smaller. Like they're literally like shit, like a little bit bigger than a golf ball.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I didn't even like playing pool. Like, I'm good at pool, and that shit.
That kind of threw you off.
Yeah,
You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like, it was just weird.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, I played a few times. And, so they had, like, their game room, and then next to the game room was, like, the patio. And the patio was really cool. So, yeah. So, I just take my one little tour around and see where what's what.
Did you make any friends out there?
Oh, yeah. I made the most friends at my hostel.
Yeah?
Yeah, after I got into my room and got settled down and got comfy, and I was able to lay my big ass fucking backpack down, I automatically went to the bar and got me a beer and just chilled out. I talked to the bartender a little bit, but oh yeah, over in London, they do not do tabs. You pay as you go. Starting a tab is only if you know somebody like very, very well. You can start a tab. They don't do that over there. You pay as you go.
So every time you buy a drink, you tip on top of it?
No, they don't tip. They don't do that either. You don't tip in London. So you can give them like there's not like a receipt you can do like. No, that's in Germany. Sorry. Yes, you can tip in London, but it's really not like. They don't expect it like you expect it here, you know?
So they get probably hourly pay.
Yeah, I didn't ask, but they have to get paid, you know, more than a bar, like $2, you know?
Because I'm a server right now and I get paid $2.30 an hour or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably way different over there, but they don't expect you to tip. And, oh yeah, that was weird too. And so their currency is different. Like I said, they do pounds. And
that would throw me off the whole time.
Dude, it's weird because you have a whole, like...
Did they explain to you? Like...
No. I just kind of got it as I went. Like, it's very easy to figure out, but it's just like they have more... Their dollars are in coins, pretty much. So they have, like, coins that are, like, $1, $2, $5... They have coins like that.
That would seem like nothing to me. I would just be throwing them around.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you think of all this change in your pocket, and you're like, God damn, I got all these quarters and shit. But you pull it out, and you can literally pay, like, a meal for, like, 2 coins. And it's just like,
because this whole time I've been basing it off, you said 30 pounds equaled $40.
Yeah.
So this whole time I've been basing off that. I'm like, all right, well, like $10 more.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird over there. But, like, honestly, I liked it. It was different, and that's probably why I liked it. You know, It was cool. So yeah, I met a guy in my room that was staying right next to me, and his name was Zach. And shout out to Zach. He's from France.
He's a real guy.
Yeah, he was.
Shout out Zach.
Yeah, he actually, before I left, like I met so many people, and I told him I was leaving, and it literally was like, it was a sad day. Because when you meet people, that's like your homies for that time.
You grow such a bond.
Yeah, you start
such
a
small time.
Yeah, and so when that person leaves, you're just like, oh fuck, man, and like everyone goes out and drinks and like, but it's just like. Besides
you, did you witness other people leave and you were like?
Yeah, and like that person, we were just like, oh man, like, I guess we'll see you when we see you. You know, like,
never.
This is our last time, probably. You know, yeah.
That's such a cool experience, though.
Yeah.
You meet, like, it's so crazy. It's like, I used to think about it when I was younger. I would literally just be, like, sitting passenger seat, and I would see we'd be sitting at a red light or something, and I would see all these people drive by. I'm like, what's crazy is, like, I'll never meet that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people are driving by? I will never meet that person, but that person is living their own life.
And that's what I was about to say. From you saying that, whenever I was in London, just like sitting and watching people, it's just like when you look at how much shit's going on, you start looking at people and you're just like, that person's going to do something. That person's going, like, what the fuck could all these people be doing?
You're like, I'm over here doing random nothing.
Yeah, and these people
what are these people doing?
Yeah, like,
you know what
I'm like, wow. And like, that's just shit you think about when you're just people watching, you know? It's cool.
Especially when you have no phone, you're not in tune with like whatever else. You're literally just paying attention.
Did you meet any other Americans while you were over there?
Yeah, I met 2. One was in my dorm. He was from Boston. And he was like that weird guy. he always came around in, like, the group that I met. Like, there was a few people in my dorm that hung out together.
He, like, tried to include himself?
Yeah, but we weren't dicks. Like, it's like, you don't know anybody. Like, come on in. Like, we're not going to hate. But he was, like, we were all the same age, pretty much, like, in our early 20s. And this guy was, like, 32, 33. And he was, like, white dude, pretty on the heavy side. And he was just, like...
So you have something against fat people?
No. He was just fucking weird. And when I say weird, it's like, you know that white frat kid that just tries too hard?
Yeah.
He was that, but he was a grown-ass man.
He was a cow.
Yeah, no.
Fucking cow. Fucking cow.
He was just too extra, man. He tried too hard to fit in.
Yeah.
And for instance, me and the kid Zach from France that I met, we went out to eat right down the street, and we saw him on the way out, and we were like, fuck, we're going to eat. And he was like, oh, cool, I'm hungry. So we were like, cool, come
Invited
on.
himself kind of stuff?
Yeah, so he joined us. And while we were sitting down eating, we didn't know what we wanted. And we all ordered something completely different. I had like this pasta, like shrimp pasta. Oh, damn, that was good too.
Sounds fire.
Yeah, it was good as fuck.
Love shrimp.
But I got like the shrimp pasta, and them two played it weird. Like they got he got the guy that I'm talking about, the American, he got some kind of lasagna, and it looked fire as fuck. Like when it got to the table, I was like, damn, I'd eat that. But he saw what I had, and he wanted that, and so he made a scene. And he, like, called the waiter over. And he was just like, hey, this is not what I wanted. And it's not really, like, what I thought it was going to be. Like, and he got lasagna. Like, lasagna only comes in one way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand your fucking
There's
problem.
nothing wrong with
There's
lasagna.
nothing wrong with this lasagna. And, like, the cook came over because he was starting such a scene. And he was just like, I want to talk to your manager. And he was like, well, I am.
He really
the
made a
manager.
big deal like that?
Yeah, yeah. And he was like, I want to talk to your manager. And me and homie are just sitting here like
embarrassed
as fuck. And like, we don't even know this guy. And he's just making us seem like assholes. And it's like, I'm already American. Like, I don't need that added on top of it. And so the cook comes over and he's like, I am the manager. And he's like, well, I want to talk to your owner. And so he was like, are you serious? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if
he should
you want
just been like, can I get this instead?
Exactly. And the guy told him that. He was like, if you want that, then you're going to have to pay for it. But I'm not going to give you something just because you don't want
You ordered the wrong thing.
You ordered the wrong thing. And, like, that makes complete sense. Like, that's how you figure out what kind of food you want. Like, is you try things. And there was nothing wrong with that lasagna at all. Like, I would have ate the shit out of that lasagna.
I would have ate it for him.
Yeah. And he just made such a big deal about it. And the cook, like, stood his ground. And he was just like, I'm not giving you it unless you want to pay for it. And he's like, I'm not paying for another blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he started a big-ass scene. And that's just the kind of person he was.
He's from Boston, though.
Yeah. And
they're assholes over there.
After we left, he went to McDonald's across the street. He was like, I'm going to go get some real fucking food before he left. And, like, just made a huge ass out of himself.
I would have dissed him so fast.
Well, that's the thing. Whenever they went to McDonald's, I stayed behind, and I went back into the store. And I was like, I want y'all to understand me. Like, I'm so sorry about that. Like, that food looked dank as shit, and you did nothing wrong. And I was like, me and the other kid, we don't even know this guy. Like, he stays at our hostel. He just kind of came along, and I'm so sorry. And they were so nice about it. They were like, I understand. Like, don't worry about it. They had big smiles on their faces. And I was
they have to, but behind the scenes, they were probably talking shit.
Well, no, like
they're like these fucking guys.
No, like I could tell by them feeding off of it. I was just like, hey, like, I'm so sorry, and they were just like, we understood. Like,
that's nice as fuck of you to do that.
Yeah, like, I just didn't want to be that person, you know, like, that's so fucked up. And I apologized to him, and she was like, thank you for coming and apologizing. And I was like, no, y'all deserve that. Like, I'm sorry.
Because they probably at that point, they probably thought, man, a lot of Americans are probably like this.
That's what I said. The last thing I said, I was just like, I just don't want you to believe, like, not all Americans are like that. I promise you. And she was like, I totally understand.
That's Southern
But
hospitality.
he went to McDonald's, bro.
Yeah, and then he went across the street to
God
and
damn.
he made it. He walked out saying like, I'm gonna get some real fucking food. Like
Fucking
the
McDonald's.
Fuck? You just had
They don't
like
have
4-star.
They don't have
right here.
They don't have fast food over there, right?
In London they do. Like they have McDonald's and like Subway. I ate at Subway. Subway was dank as fuck because they make it differently. Yeah, they get their food. They're like their meat is differently. You know, like they don't get it from over here. Their cows are grown over there. Or their meat, their animals are grown over there. So all their vegetables are grown differently. It's a different environment, a different everything, and so it tasted great. Like their shit better than here, and also here they just like throw shit together. You know, like it's fast paced. Everyone's trying to do shit. There it's fast paced too, but I don't know. There's just more engagement in making food, I guess.
And you said earlier before we started recording that they don't have a drive-through over there.
No, I did not see one drive-through. It's in London. Not at all. Not even in Germany. I didn't see a drive-through. Everyone gets out and does their own shit, which is cool. I like that. I like engagement. I like people getting out and doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have to walk to go to get your groceries or to go to the store, that's an adventure right there. You never know what the fuck you're gonna get into.
Yeah.
You know, like that's cool. It gets you out of the house.
It's an experience.
Yeah, exactly. And just in the small things like that, you know, like walking to the subway. Like, that was the coolest shit. Like, those were my highlight moments that I'll have forever. It's just, like, those little bitty moments, just walking to the subway with my board in my hand, just, like, jamming out to my music, just, like, having a good time, you know. Like, that
It's
was
crazy,
cool.
like, hearing about it, but, like, the experience would be so much different.
Yeah, it is, man.
Because you hear about it, you're just like, oh, you know, like, oh, that would be nice. But to actually experience it,
do it, man. And I can't even...
like, walk to the subway. It doesn't sound crazy, but it would sound like, it would be nice as fuck.
One thing I was going to ask you, I saw on your Snapchat that you were hanging out with 2 girls.
Yeah.
How'd you meet them?
The kid that I went partying with, Zach, the French guy, he was staying in my room. Me and him, we were going to go to a club, and before we went to the club, we went to our bar in the hostel just to like pregame, have a few beers. And while we were there, we were sitting at our table, and they were right behind us like playing a card game. And we were just like, fuck it. So we went over there and talked to them, and they were like so easy to talk. Like, people are so easy to talk to. They're just girls don't.
Was he nice with it though?
Yeah, he was smooth.
No homo. Was he like a good-looking guy? He was like, you know, like
sure. He wore a suit everywhere he went. Pretty much.
Oh, really?
Like, he's French as fuck, and they're big in clothing.
Yeah.
There. So yeah, he's swagged out, and slick back hair and shit, just like Frenchy boy, and so anyway, he went up smooth to him and did his thing, and I went and got a beer, and I went to the table, and they were just like, hey, what's going on? And I ended up. I'm not trying to sound like that guy, but I ended up being more favored to them just because I'm American, I guess, and I already have like a glowing personality. So I was just like, what's up, homegirls? Like, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if you know this, but French are kind of dicks. Like, they could be assholes. And his English was kind of off. So throughout the night...
It's almost like Mexicans. The way they speak in Spanish, like they come off very strong. You know what I'm saying? Jokingly,
right?
But when you hear it the first time, you're like, "What the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. They can be assholes, but no, not that. Like, they can just be assholes. Like, they're just
no, because I know in other countries, like, they joke about women differently.
Really?
Yeah, they say mean things to women as jokes.
Yeah.
And they find it completely fine.
Right.
But to another culture, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah.
But no, he would literally, like, we would say something, like, for instance, one of the things, like, throughout the night we were going, and they said, fuck, I don't even remember, but he thought they were calling him gay, but they weren't saying that at all. Like, I was like, dude, you're misinterpreting that. Like, I don't even know where you got
Was he
that
drunk
from.
or?
No, his English was bad.
Yeah.
So he thought he was just like putting pieces together, and I don't know where the fuck he got that from, but he would just like nitpick like that, and then he would get pissed off, and he'd be like, "What the fuck? Like, what the fuck are you saying?" And he'd just walk off, and then we'd see him 5 minutes later, and he'd be like, "What's up, guys?" Like, he was just fucking weird, and he was cool, but
he was weird. He was cool.
But yeah. So anyway, I ended up hitting it off with them, and we went to the club. We got drunk as fuck.
What would you say is different between the club over there and the clubs over here?
The music.
Music.
And the bouncers. So, or like all the, I guess like, you know those people that come out and while you're in line or like walking up to, and they're like, "Hey, y'all trying to get in?" Blah blah blah, and you're like, "Get the fuck out of my face!" Like, we're just trying to go. Well, I'll stand in line, you know. Like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to buy anything. You're trying to give me tickets or nothing like that. So, we were with the girls, and I think that's why we got in. But we were literally walking up to the club, and there's this long ass line, and there's probably like 100 people in line. And as we're walking up, this guy just approaches us, and he's like, "Hey, y'all trying to get in?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "How many of you are there?" And we were just like, "Just 4." And he was like, "All right, come with me." And we were like, "Okay." And the girl, like, I was just kind of
Y'all
in the
agreed
background.
to that so fast.
I was in the background. I was just like behind the girls, and so I just followed them. And then he walked us up to the front of the line, and there was a bouncer sitting there, and he was like, "Hey, let these guys in." And he was like, "All right, homie." And like they did like a quick dap, and then he just let us in. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, we didn't give him any money.
They must have been fine.
I mean, no. I mean, one of them was pretty fine, but I mean, no, they were not like 10s. You know, like, I don't understand why. I don't know.
That is weird as fuck. That is weird as fuck.
It's still a mystery to me. I don't know. But yeah. So we got in. The club was really cool. The differences are like the nights, like the genre nights. If you go to any club, there's going to be a night that you particularly want to go to with your group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't go there 2 nights in a row and see the same people. Like, it'll be different as shit. And,
Did they have a Hispanic night?
yes, I went there one night.
They did?
Yes, and it was... Oh, another downside about that is... So, you know how here, girls are twerking... Girls are doing their thing, shaking that ass, and you're just like, "Damn, homegirl." And like, you can get behind any girl, and if she wants it, like, she'll keep dancing. You know, that's just what I always do.
Yeah.
And there, that shit don't fly at all.
So they'll be dancing by themselves, and you try to jump up on her.
Yeah, she's like, "Get off of me now!" And like, other people will jump in. And, like, it gets escalated quick as fuck. Like,
did that happen to you?
No, it did not happen to me. I saw it, and that's why I was like, nope. I witnessed it, like, 3 or 4 times. And then a girl actually, like,
a girl started dancing on you, you're like, I don't want no part of this.
Well, I mean, when she started dancing on me, like, I was just walking through, like, trying to find my way. And I was drunk at this point, so, like, I'm having a good time and shit. I'm just, like, trying to find my way through the bar or the club. And this girl just, like, comes up and starts twerking on me. And I was like, oh, shit. And so I start dancing back, and then she's just, like, she, like, pushes me away. And I was like, I just, like, put my bottle in the air, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you danced on me?
I'm going off your energy.
Yeah. And, like, she just, like, walked off. And I was like, wow, like, I'll never do that shit again. So that's one weird thing is, like, I don't know. It's just weird. But the girls that do like you... It's flipped. So here, you buy drinks for girls. You pay for the Uber.
Don't tell me that they...
You pay for the Uber to go to home. You pay for food, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Not there, my dude.
Really?
Not there, my dude. Yeah. They pay... I got girls were buying me drinks. And then girls paid for the Uber to go back home. And then girls... Girls cooked breakfast in the morning and was just like, whenever you're done, like, just make sure you lock the door behind you, and that's it.
So they're like the man whores.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. It's different over there.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
It's pretty dope. And like you just like you wake up and there's just like this dope ass.
They're like the playboys.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they're just like
I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I don't care. You know.
Like breakfast waiting for me and shit, and like they had their tea, and you just wake up and just like girls just naked next to you, and you're just like, God damn, like this is dope as shit. And then after you're done, you're just I had my breakfast and I was just chilling, and she was like, hey, I gotta go to work. It was nice meeting you. Just lock the door on your way out. And I was like,
damn.
I was like,
it's
what?
reversed.
Yeah.
You're like, now I'm offended. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I know how it feels.
I would have a great time. Thank you for having me over.
I'm saying.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't call me. It's okay. Don't call me. It's fine.
Yeah, man, it's dope. So it's reversed there. And I mean,
I wonder why that is.
Dude, I have no idea.
What the fuck is going on with that culture that they're just like, that's badass.
Yeah, but London girls
I don't
wild.
even question it.
London girls are wild. They're like not wild as in like.
So they're not just like regular white girls like over here?
No, they are. They're built the same. I mean, not built the same, but like everyone has the same.
Nigga snatching your chips.
Taking my cod, bro.
Nigga snatching chips, bro.
Right.
So they're regular, like brunettes, blondes, just regular.
Yeah.
Of course, what else would they be?
They're so fine. I mean, well, Germany,
and they're fit too, like you said earlier. They're fit, naturally fit.
Personally, German girls are way more better in my opinion because I like blonde girls. Like I like white girls. I like blondies, and especially fit when they're fit, and because their transportation is so different there, they stay fit all their life and they eat differently.
They walk, they bike.
Yeah, exactly. So all these
Would you say
years-
on record how many women you might have come in contact with? Would you say on record?
3.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
That was an honest question.
Yeah,
I just want to know.
you're right.
Like, yeah, I mean, you're living your life.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
You're
And,
going out there having a good ass time. It's not like no strings attached type shit.
And see, that's the thing is whenever I went there, I came to the table with that mentality. I was like, hey, homegirl, like, I'm just here, you know.
Obviously, this one.
I'm here for a week.
I'm living
you know?
life, and that did not faze them at all. Like we still.
They were like, I mean, you don't have to tell me this.
Yeah,
I don't care.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
it was just like, and we even after I told her that, like we still bonded on the same connection. Like I could have a relationship with this girl. Like that's the way we bonded. Like it was cool. They're cool as fuck about it. They're so chill. Like there's no sticks up the ass.
Yeah.
They don't judge off the fucking car you drive. It's just you just live life, my dude, and it's cool as long as you're just not a fucking bum.
So did it give you more attention that you were American?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I definitely got more attention when I spoke to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if a German girl came up to you and she had an accent,
The
you'd be
way
like,
that you
oh
spoke
shit!
to them.
Like, if you're talking to a fine bitch and she's American and she's just fine, you're like, damn, she's fine. But if a German girl comes up to you and she has an accent,
you're interested in
you. You're obviously going to be more interested into the foreign girl because she's just different and she's fine as fuck.
Yeah.
And she's just different. So that's the same way it was with me. I was just more interesting to listen to, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But just as far as like me being around, like talking, it wasn't just like, you're American. Like, it wasn't like that. So I enjoyed myself in London. It was really cool. And then after I left London, I took off.
You stayed at what, 6 days?
I stayed 6 days.
And that's when you went to Germany, right?
And then, yeah, I flew to Germany. And that's where I met Daniel and his girlfriend. Shout out to Daniel and his girlfriend.
He took care of you. That's a real ass fucking friend,
my
dude.
And like, even though I had money, so in Germany, it's really cash only. like they don't use cards over there. In London, that's no worry. Like you can use a card wherever, but in Germany, so you have to pull your cash, and that became like sort of an issue for me in certain times. And he did take care of me. Like there was times where I had money, and like my last 3 days, I didn't even spend $1. Like we went out to eat several times. We went out and did this and did that, and he paid for it.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. Yeah. But these pants, whenever I went to Germany, we stayed for like 2 days in his town, and then we went to Munster, which Munster is like the Austin of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hipster there. It's very cool, chill. College kids everywhere, stuff like that. His brother works at the skate shop that's like the Zoomies of Germany, and so whenever we went to the shop there, I bought a shitload of threads, and that was just cool as fuck. And then I got 50% off. So I love clothes. So
you're like, of course.
Yeah. So I bought these jeans right here, or these pants. They were $80 or 80 euros, and I got them for 40.
Mm-hmm.
When I returned to Daniel's house, we left Munster, went to his house. He has a dog. It's like a border collie, and it's a real like border collies are usually known for like very friendly dogs. This dog barked at me the first day I arrived and like would not stop. His dog did not like me, but he would only bark at me. And so like the 5th day,
it's the half black.
Yeah, bro. But he was black too. The dog was black. It was like bullshit and white. I was like, nigga, we're the same one. Like we need friendship.
We're mixed friends
yeah.
right now. Come on.
And so the third day I'm there, I already know, like, every time I walk in the room, like, he gets a vibe, and he's just like, grrr, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. But, like, eventually he'll calm down, you know. But every time I walk in, there's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so, 4th night I'm there. I've been there plenty of times. He knows who I am. I'm sitting at the fucking coffee table, and he's sitting under the coffee table because that's his spot. And, like, it's me, Daniel, his sister, his mom, and yeah, that was it. We're just watching a movie. And then I go to pick up my drink, and as soon as I picked up my drink, that fucker bit me. And he ripped a hole in my jeans. And I was just like, God damn it.
The jeans are wearing right now?
No, I have 2 now. But the dog bit me, made a huge hole. And he didn't fuck my skin up very bad, but it was just like...
He just ripped your jeans.
Yeah, ripped my jeans, and like he nicked me a little bit. And I was like, God damn it. So the mom was like so shocked, and because the dog had never bit anybody before. He just barks at people.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. Like they saw the whole thing. Like I literally was like watching TV, and I went to go grab my drink like this, and he just bit the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the mom like apologized up and down, and I was like, dude, it's a dog. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. And then the next day, I wake up in the morning, and his mom had shipped overnight my same pair of pants and gave them to me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. And I was like, that's so nice of you. Like, I was just like, what the
What do you even say to that?
I gave her a hug, of course, and I was like, you didn't have to do that. Like, and Daniel was just like, oh, well, like, now you have a skate pair, and now you got a pair to go kick it with.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, you're right, like, dope shit. But I mean, they just kind of, I think they just kind of have money like that, you know. And but they went and got a.
So they were pretty wealthy.
Yeah, they were living in like a $200,000 house, and it's weird because their house is literally like a nice apartment.
Is it like a South Lake type home?
No, their homes are so much different. It's like a what are those called? Where they're built into each other. It's like one person has one side and the other person has the other.
Like not condos, like
a duplex.
Duplex.
Yeah, they have that, but it's multiple built into each other.
But they're real nice.
Yeah, and they were really nice. But that by itself was almost $300,000, and you don't have your own unattached home. So it's very different over there, but yes, they were well off. Anyway, so she got me a new pair of jeans, and I was like, that's fucking sick. And coming to that, I learned a lot about Germany, and that's why I say I don't think I'm going to stay here very long. Because over in Germany, so here I think we get like 14 days paid vacation, maybe, if you get lucky, depending on where you work.
Mm-hmm. If that, there. Right? Some places, some places don't even offer that.
Yeah, if that. There, you get 30 days, no questions asked. 30 days paid vacation, and they make you take it. They're like, go do something, leave.
Yeah.
On top of that, if you get sick, you go to the doctor. Healthcare is free over there. You don't pay for any of that shit. On top of that, you go to the doctor, and he gives you a note, and he says, that's how long you can't work. You give it to your job, and that time that you can't work is not included on your 30 days off. All jobs that are full-time, it's automatic. It doesn't matter if you work at a fucking gas station. It doesn't matter if you work anywhere. That's just how it is. You get, I said healthcare. Taxes are a bitch over there, but in return, you get all this free shit.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the taxes.
Yeah, taxes are a bitch. I mean, they're not horrible, but I mean, you only see like half your paycheck. And
so do you have like a time frame of when you think you would want to go there?
Next year.
That soon?
Yeah. I'm taking a German class.
Have you told your parents?
No. But my mom already knows. Like, I've always told her, and like just stories and like what my plans are. Like, she already knows
that's what you want.
Yeah, she knows I want to move out of the country. And dude, I don't want to have kids here. Like, I want to settle down with like some fine foreign girl and like eventually like have kids and like do it very differently. Like, I want to live a completely different life than I do here. And like, that's just because that's just life. That's something.
Well, then we might as well get into it. I wanted to ask you the differences between there and here, and you've already alluded to some of it when it comes to the jobs.
Right before we get there, you don't think you'll miss this at all? No.
Before I left, the mom asked me if I was ready to go home, and I was like, absolutely not.
I don't want to.
And she was like, you can stay here. And she was dead ass. She was like, college is free over there. You don't pay for college. She offered me to like go to university and just like stay with them until I got on my feet, and I didn't know how to take it. I was like, I mean, I obviously.
Why were they like, they barely know you?
I know.
Even Daniel, yeah, he knew you for 6 months, but he barely knew you if you compare it. Like, it's crazy that people you can know for so many years can mean nothing to you, and then someone that you know for such a short amount of time could be like the best friend that you could ever
like
have.
I can't, like, that's why I'm smiling so big, because I can't even explain it. Like, they're just lovely people. Like, they're dope as
That's
shit.
nuts. I didn't know you wanted to move there so fucking quickly.
Yeah. So
that's awesome though.
I'm taking a course. It's not necessary for me to know German, but while I was there, like, I was already kind of leaning to learn German, and so it would help so much if I learn German. They offer classes in Germany, like in English, because everyone speaks English, but I just want to be able to like fit in and like speak a different language, if anything, like, that's just cool as fuck. Like, that's neat as shit.
It's like over here and taking Spanish for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so that's the plan. That's what you want to do. You eventually want to move to Germany. Yeah. That's where you want to move to, Germany?
Yeah. And which is really, it's kind of spontaneous. Like, there's so much I haven't seen, but I love Germany so much. Like, I would be happy there, Like, I still want to go to Australia and, like, go backpack there and maybe move there. And I want to go to Spain.
Well, dude, we're all young. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still a lot that could happen in the future.
Right. And that's what I should take this time for. I should take time and go travel and see where I would like to move.
And you saw how cheap it was.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not completely possible.
It's not expensive at all. Just people want to be able to live lavishly while they're doing it, and you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to stay at 5-star hotels.
And here in America, there's like that standard and that like everyone lives by.
See, that's the thing. It goes back to the differences, man. Because I know you said, and I don't know if we've already mentioned it, but you said over here, it's like you have to be you're held to a certain standard here
Right.
in the United States.
Right.
And over there you're not.
Over there you're not. It's so yes and no. It's okay over there to want to travel, and it's okay for you not to go to college as soon as you graduate. Like, that's fine. You don't have to know what you want to do. And people don't drive new fucking cars and have the newest badass thing. Like, people just live over there, and they live in the moment. And that's what I dig about the transportation thing is that's why they're not like that, is because they're not worried about what car can I get that's going to be dope as fuck. And
or what clothes can I wear to impress such
exactly.
and such.
Now, clothes are a different story. Like, people like to look good.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
obviously.
fine.
They're big on
But I'm
fashion.
saying they're not like...
They're big on fashion.
It's like
right,
the materialistic things are different. Like,
Right.
we are too focused on materialistic
Right. And
things
like,
here.
like over there, Daniel's 26, and he still lives at home because it's so expensive to live in these other countries. Like, kids don't get out until they're almost 30. But that's normal there. Like, that's fine. That's okay.
But the thing, you know
So
what's weird?
How
you know
would
what's
you be
weird?
able to do it on your own?
Hold on, wait. Before you say that, that's the reason I say that is because that might not just be a Germany thing. That might just be a foreign thing in general. Because in Mexico, when my mom tells me, like, our uncles, they'll be 28, 29 and still be living at home. There's no rush for them to move out. They're like, you're part of the family. They
move out once they
get married. No, they get married and then still live at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the way it is. Like,
Right.
I don't
and
know.
here
Like me,
here
like,
in the
I
United
wanna
States,
move out as soon as possible.
exactly, that's a United States thing. The United States are so quick to, all right, you're 18.
Yeah.
I want to be independent. I want to move out. I want to do my
Right.
own thing. In other places, it's not like that.
Yeah. And that's cool. I like that. Like, I like that because in that time that you're not paying rent, you're saving all this money. And then you have the option to go travel and go find out what the fuck you want to do. And it's not until, like, it's okay if you start school when you're 26. And then when you have your career, you can move out at 30. And that seems like really...
excessive.
Yeah,
Almost.
excessive here. Like, I want to get out now. Like, I'm 23 and I feel like I'm already extending my stay. But my mom's just like, no, like, why? You're young. Like,
Exactly.
stay here. But that's
I'm
how
a
it
mama's
is.
boy.
Yeah. I know
So
what
like
you're
when I moved out, my mom told me she cried every
Yeah.
night until
Yeah.
she finally realized that I was okay
Right.
and I was happy.
saying. Right.
She cried every night thinking about me being somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's
and as soon as I wasn't able to, I got in trouble or whatever, and I wasn't able to afford to live on my own. She welcomed me with open arms.
again.
She was like,
Yeah.
"No, you come back when."
Because that's how it is, man. Like, you just, like we said, we're so quick to want to do, we're in the now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's how we are right here. And over there, it's not.
It's not.
So, like you said, it's so expensive
Yeah, it's very
to
expensive.
live on your own,
So-
especially when you're younger.
Yeah.
So how would you go upon
So
moving out there by yourself?
A lot. Well, see, I have Daniel. His parents will let me stay.
He is willing?
Yeah, like they told me I could stay in that room, and I mean I wouldn't just because I already have that mentality. Like I don't even like, I wouldn't be comfortable with like staying there already. Like it's just like
Almost like bumming, like
yeah, exactly.
asking
Like
for help.
I don't have that in me to do that, you know. But
But at the same time, it's super nice
exactly
that they offer that,
right, and
it's genuine. You know that they're being
they're
sincere.
serious, yeah. And, but that's the thing is, I love Munster, which is where it was like really hipster and all that.
Mhm.
And his brother is gonna like eventually like his brother's gonna get a new roommate or something like that. So he was like, if you're ready by that time, you can just move in with me.
Yeah.
And then he even offered to, well, the brother didn't, but Daniel was just like, if you move out here, then like my brother can get you in at the skate shop. And the guy that works at the skate shop, like he's doing fine.
So it's like a job that you have secured.
Exactly. So I mean, I don't have it secured because I'm just spontaneously saying like, hey, I might do this. but the option is there. Like, if I'm serious and I call them and say, hey, I'm wanting to do this at this point
it's
in
there.
time,
It's on the table.
Yeah, it's on the table. And I'm pretty sure I can make it work. You know, it's just about if it's the right time to do it or not.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to take my classes and know a little bit of German. So when I go there, I look at least like I'm dead ass serious. Like I'm this serious that I learned.
You might have to
because a lot
look
of things,
into more information and get a little.
a lot of
phone
things,
plan.
a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because a lot of things can change within a year. Right now, you're saying, yeah, I'm going to move to Germany.
Right.
And a year from now, you'll be in a completely different space.
Right.
Because the reason I say it is because a year ago, the plan was you wanted to move to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, you're like, I want to move to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know where you're going to be a year from
Right.
now. You never really know.
You're absolutely right.
Like you said, Australia.
Yeah.
You could end up somewhere else.
I know. But that's the thing, like, I'm fine with...
That's also the thing is that with life, you have unlimited choices.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say.
You
like,
literally
I'm
could
fine.
choose what you want to do. It's just you gotta commit and do what. Just do it.
Yeah, and that's
Nothing is holding you back from doing what you really want to do.
Yep. I agree.
If you really like set your mind to it, you save your money, you do whatever, and you commit to it, you can move. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure. You don't necessarily have to
You'll
stick
fig-
to.
you'll
You
figure
don't
it out.
necessarily have
Anyone
to
will
stick to
figure it
the
out.
plan. You could, you know what I'm saying, like, you could eventually branch out.
Great,
and
like
Yeah.
great, you know, like good positivity, you know, like good mindset, and you commit. I mean, you could do whatever you want.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
So we'll see. We'll see
but
what
one thing I
happens.
do want to talk about real quick.
You have a cigarette, dude?
Yeah. Of course.
I
One
ran
thing I
out
want
of
to talk
fucking
about
candles.
is we've been talking about a little bit of the differences between there and here.
Thank you.
What about the differences between girls, U.S. and over there?
So
We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. We can always talk about
They're
it a lot
fine,
more. Yeah. Sorry, homegirls, but they got you beat by a mile stretch. Like they're already in that mindset.
What is the biggest difference
What do you mean?
between American and foreign?
Um,
I've really
You told me
I've
before.
really never met,
You
like,
told
a
me
foreign-
before when Jose was in here. You told me that one of the big things is that they don't judge you.
yes. You can talk to any girl you want to, and she will have a decent conversation with you. She's not gonna look you up and down and be like, "You're not wearing nice clothes. Like you're not." Blah blah blah. Like she will just genuinely talk to you, and I'm not saying like you're gonna get fucked if you just talk to any girl, but I'm saying there's so much more of a bigger chance of her actually liking you because she's not too busy judging about what you're wearing, what car you drive, what are you doing right now in life.
So being the whole American part doesn't have nothing to play with it? Because I know, like, in Mexico, you go over there, and, I mean, as soon as they find out you're American,
yeah,
they jump all over you.
yeah, that's not. Well, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like that's a worldwide thing. Like people are attracted to people that are different. People are attracted to somebody that has an accent and talks.
Memo needs to go to Europe, dude. He's different.
That's how it was when I went to Mexico. People were just genuinely interested.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they see me and they're like,
Right.
they want to know more about me.
Right. Exactly.
So,
But I mean, that's not the reason how I know this, like, straight up is because Daniel lived in Germany and he knew how the girls were, and then he moved here and he told me the difference.
yeah.
And then I went there and I saw the same thing. So it can't only be because we're different, like, coming from different countries, like different accents.
Yeah.
Because he told me whenever he was here, he was just like, girls don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, they just want a nice person to talk to, Like, they just want somebody that's dope,
I think before we wrap up the podcast, I do want to ask you, because we talked about it on other episodes, what your most drunk experience was, and you said that it was in Germany with your friend Daniel.
Yes. Yes.
And it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were supposed to be going to a wedding.
Correct.
So go ahead and tell us that before we go.
So, Daniel's cousin was supposed to get married, and I guess while I was in London, they canceled it. The guy canceled on the girl.
So his cousin was a female.
No, his cousin was the guy.
He was the one that canceled it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from what I put together, I puzzled around. Like, I heard a lot of family talking about it, and Daniel would kind of tell me what they were talking about. And the girl was just like a bitch. Like, nobody liked her. And so the guy canceled, and for that, the uncle was just like, fuck yeah, he's not getting married. He threw a party for it. And this was right after we were leaving Munster. This was the day after. And so we didn't drink. But anyway, I brought my suit. I brought everything. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go to...
Because you're over here thinking, I'm about to go to a fucking German wedding. It's about to be lit. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know what to expect. I was just like, fuck yeah, like, let's go. And, so yeah, I put that in my fucking bag too, for no reason. But anyway, get to hometown. Daniel was like, we're not drinking today because we have this party to go to. You're going to meet all my family. We're going to get drunk as fuck. And I was like, okay, cool. And so we arrive to the destination. And this is where I met his sister, which I'm actually talking to his sister now. And I really like her.
Shout out Daniel.
That's what I was going to ask
sister.
you. I was going to wait for after this story, but you did say that you met someone in Germany.
Yeah, I met a girl, and that's his sister.
You like her for real?
Yeah, but it was really cool because she doesn't speak English much.
Really?
So it was...
German?
Yeah, she's German. So she knew kind of like the basics, but like every time I would ask her something...
How do you communicate with her?
That's the thing. That's what was so cute about it. Was like we had no... We couldn't even really speak to each other. But there was still like that...
There was a connection.
There was a connection, yeah. And so when I got to the party, Daniel told me, like I said, like he was like, we're not drinking, we're not getting fucked up. We have this party to get to. So before we get into the door, he was like, are you ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, what the fuck? Let's go. And he was like, there's going to be a lot of people here, and they're all going to be staring at you because they know you're coming, and we're about to have fun. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's go. I didn't really think anything of it. Yeah, like I was like, I'm ready.
Prepared.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. And so I'm
hydrated.
I'm hydrated. So I walk in, and there's like 40 people, and they're all just like all talking and whatnot, and they're just like big, warm, welcoming. They're just like, hi, like what's going on? And I mean, obviously their accents are way different, and you can barely understand what they're saying, but they're just like,
that's
hello.
what's awesome is that they welcomed you.
Yeah. And so I sit down, or like I'm going around meeting everybody, and that's when I saw his sister. And I was like, she's the one in the room.
Your first time meeting her?
Yeah.
Your
my
first time seeing her?
Did you know she was his sister?
Yes, because she added me on Instagram, so I kind of knew what she looked like, and I was like, damn.
Okay.
But I didn't like look who she was. Like I didn't just like look
real
at her
fast
age.
though. Is he okay with whatever y'all talking?
So I told him, I was like, dude, your sister's fine as fuck, and he was like.
How old is she?
She's 22.
Okay.
No. She's 24. She's older than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he was like, go for it. He's like, do it.
Really?
I was like, I did the same thing. I was like, really? You know, are you serious? And he showed me like a picture of her. This is when this was my first night here. Mm-hmm. He like, I saw a picture and I was like, she's fine as fuck. And he's like, that's my sister. You should go for it. And I was like, what the fuck?
He was like pretty much introducing you to her. Like, go for it, man. Like, you got this.
Pretty much. I was like, wow, cool. So anyway, so we get to the party and I'm walking around and I see her and she like glowed. I was like, damn, like I saw her for sure. And she automatically, just like as soon as we saw each other, like she just gave me the biggest smile and like you
felt like attracted to each other.
Yeah, like you could already tell. Like I was like, yep, I know. And so, I go up to her and I was like, hi, it's like nice to meet you. I kept it real brief because I was just like, there were so many other people to meet. And so I start talking to people and then I sit down, and as soon as I sit down, the uncle comes up and he's just like, what?
Takes over.
Yeah, takes over. just like automatically grabs me and he's like, come on, let's go to the kitchen. And he's got all this fucking food. And I know if you don't know about Italians, but they're
big on their food.
They're big on their food, and they're big on drinking. So there's just all this food. There's like 12 types of cheese. There's almost like these, it's almost like pizza, but they look like donuts. And
like calzone type shit.
Yeah, but it's it's way different. And
God, I want to try this food so bad.
yeah, man, it was fucking
I'm
good.
drunk.
It was like,
I'm hungry now. Now that I think about it, I'm hungry.
It was like, think about pizza melted into just like a ball of bread.
Fuck.
And it was just delicious. And then they had like meatballs and just everything. And he was just like, get whatever you want, however much you want. And then he started handing me drinks. I sat down with my food and he's like, what do you want to drink? And I was like, I have no idea. And he was like, I'll be right back. And he came back with like 3 shot glasses, and me and Daniel and him took a shot. And then every shot, not 5 minutes later, he was already giving me another shot. And then I had beer on top of that. But they were just so welcoming, and they were Italian. So that's just another like.
The big thing about Italians, they're all about family.
Mm-hmm. So that just tells you, like, in general, Europe is just like a loving place. You know, like you're welcomed everywhere there, you know, with the same hospitality. And so anyway,
one of the things is that I've always hated Europe. I've always hated Europe. Like, it's like a stereotypical type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always had like, you know, not racist type shit, but like I've always, you know, had a certain type vibe towards them.
And why?
And then hearing about how, you know,
amazing it is.
How amazing, how like generous and how welcoming they are is crazy.
The story switches on the other side of the pond. Like once you get there and you see it, like
I bet.
It's just a whole
and I'm just like you. I'm friendly as fuck. I can talk to anyone.
And I mean, just dude, as long as you're a good person, like you won't have an issue. But anyway, we're drinking the whole night, and it became like 2 a.m. in the morning, and everyone's starting to like. A few people leave.
Are you fucked up at this point or not?
I'm fucking trash. Like the guy. Well, I mean, like I said earlier, I'm lightweight. Like I'm a lightweight.
Yeah.
And I was holding it together this whole time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're still in your first beer, by the way.
No, that's my second. No, that's my third. That's my third beer.
Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure.
So the uncle had been feeding me shots all night, and he even came up and offered me shots, and I said no a few times, and he was like, "Nope, you're taking it." And like we would all cheers and shit, and like I just kept going. But I think it was just because my tolerance changed, just because I was just in a
you didn't want to come across as a bitch.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like
not that at all. Like I was fine with being fucked up. Like I know they drink way more than us, and that's fine. I think it was just because I was in a different place, and I wanted to make the most of my time. Like psychologically, my tolerance just like went up because I was just so amped on being here.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was drunk when we left, but anyway, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, and they round us up, and they're like, we're going to the bars. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean we're going to the bars? Like, it's closed. And Daniel was just like, bars don't open until 2 a.m.
Yes, this is one thing you told us before we started recording, that over here, bars close at 2. And bars over there don't even open until 2
a.m.
That's fucking crazy to me.
And there's no drinking laws. You can drink on the streets. You can drink. You can get beer from any restaurant, any gas station, anything. You can drink wherever you want. Yeah.
Like that's just crazy to me. Like you could just, it's just so different over there.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to how irresponsible we are as Americans. Like they are responsible people, so they made a decision a long time ago. Like we can do this, and obviously it's okay. Like we can handle our shit, and so that's why they're able to drink at a younger age. That's why they're able to drink wherever they want, and there's no laws. And that's another reason why transportation probably isn't big over there, is because people don't drink and drive. So, like, that's why it's such an issue here. And, so with that being said, we all went to the bars. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. And then we get to the bar, and his family is with us. Even his parents came, and we were all just drunk as fuck, having a good time. And we get there, and it's like this, it's a small town. And this bar is just filled with kids. Like, it's like if you went to, have you ever been to?
Jose's never been to 7th Street.
Not 7th Street. Have you ever been to Denton? Like,
Jose doesn't like going out.
You don't.
Jose's an old man.
Goddamn.
No, I've never been out to Denton, but I mean, I've had friends around there.
Every time I try to get him to come out, he's like, no, I'm not down.
You should, man. Just once. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I just been in trouble a couple too many
I
times.
forgot about that. Okay.
So that's what it was when you went down, or when you went to the bars over there. It was kind of like a college town, or what?
That's what I thought. Go for it. It really wasn't a college town. It was just their towns. There's only so many bars, and so everybody goes there, and they already drink so much. That's the thing to do on the weekend. Everyone goes. So the fucking bar was just filled with college kids, and just it was awesome. It was not what I was expecting for 2 a.m. in the morning. And it was 10 times what I thought it was.
It's the after party after the after party.
Yeah.
Type thing.
And so that's where I got fucked up at. That's where really all like the shots hit me, because Daniel got me a mixed drink. So I had 2 mixed drinks, and I don't know what it was, but I had been doing shots and beer all night. And so I guess that mixed drink like fucked me up. But again, I'm like kind of like a dog that's like going to die. They just want to be alone. That's how it was at the bar.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Wait, well, before you keep going,
Let me struggle.
before you keep
Yeah.
going, we said it before. We haven't recorded it. It's you said every place has their own type of beer.
Yeah, every city has their own local beer. So like Keller would have their own local beer, Denton would have their own local beer, Watauga, it works like that. So so whatever restaurant you go to, they're gonna have their own local beer, and so that was really cool. But they're like really big, and they have like the best beer in the world, so they're just big on that shit.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah, I had a few mixed drinks, and like an hour's gone by, and I go smoke a cigarette, and I'm just like wanting to be alone for a minute, because I know I'm fixing to fucking puke. I'm just like not feeling good. And
I'm
go
surprised
outside.
you didn't let it go.
Yeah, no, I don't know why.
That's what I would have done. If I have the feeling.
Yeah, you're just like automatically. That's usually how it
No,
was.
like if I even like have the thought of it, I'm just like, bro, I'm just gonna let it slide.
My main thing, it wasn't like I felt like I was gonna puke. It was really like I was getting hot. Like my temperature was starting to rise, and like too much was happening around me. Like I just needed some air, because I knew I was gonna start getting sick, you know. So I went outside, rolled a cigarette. As I'm rolling a cigarette, this fucking guy just comes up and like was just like, "What's up, my dude?" And just like scared the shit out of me. And he knew Daniel, so he knew. I don't know how he knew me.
Mutual friends type shit.
I don't know how he knew me, because I hadn't met him, but he knew who I was.
You probably met him. You're just
Maybe.
a couple shots in.
Maybe.
You just don't know.
I don't know, but I sat with him and talked with him for a minute. And then
Good for him for comforting you.
yeah. Honestly,
Good
like,
for him.
He got me out of that, because I was I was
Good
not
for him.
feeling all right, and but he pushed me out of that. Anyway, so I'm like smoking a cigarette, talking with him, and then Daniel's family comes out and like finds me and him, and they were like, "Fucking get your drink," because I still had a full drink next to me, and I was like, "Fuck," and they were like, chug it, and I was like,
They're
"God
pushing
damn
you
it."
still?
Yeah, and this is parents too. They're like in their 50s, and they're like you gotta keep up.
Did you feel like a bitch? You're like, golly.
Yeah, like in front of everybody, I was like, fuck, all right. So like we all cheered, and then we
What do they call
killed
it?
Prost.
Prost.
Yeah, it's German for cheers, pretty much. And they're big on that. Like Daniel, my first beer I had with him, I just went to go drink it, and he was like, no. And he almost like
Smashed
smacked
into
it
it.
out of my hand. And he was like, you have to you have to prost. And I was like, all right, cool. So they're very big on cheering.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I said, they found me. I drank another drink, and by that time when they like all were like there, like they pumped me up again. So I like got my third wind, and I was like, fuck yeah, like let's go. So had another 2 drinks, and then they rounded us up, and they were like, all right, we're going to some blah blah's house. And I was like, god damn, like it's already 5 a.m. and I'm so fucked. Like it's starting to obviously creep up on me.
And that's funny is because like you're sitting there at 5 a.m.
And you can say that
I
this
want to
is...
go home.
I'm ready to go home.
And you
I want
can
to go
say...
home. I'm dizzy a little
And you can
bit.
say that... And you can
And
say...
they're like, what are you talking about?
And you can
They're
say...
like, we're going to the after party.
After party.
And you can say
What
this
are
is the
you
drunkest
talking
you've ever been?
Yeah, for sure. So, oh yeah, leading up to, we go to this homie's house, beer pong. I'm like, oh fuck it. Like I heard beer pong, and I was like, let's go. Like I'm down. I won like 3 times in a row. I have no idea. And like
I was about to say,
I have no idea.
you're
like,
plastered at this point,
dude,
and you're
I'm
still
fucked.
running tables.
I'm still running tables, my dude. It was nuts. And it's just like sink.
And
I mean,
well, once you're drunk too, though,
yeah, you just get that flow.
you're just like in sync with it, though.
So
Because
yeah.
that's how I am. Like I can't do beer pong
Right.
unless I'm
Unless
drunk.
you're fucked up.
Like I don't have to be fucked up, but once I get some beers in my system,
Yeah.
bro, I'm sinking. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. I got the jersey on me.
Yeah, it was me with that face and shit.
So go ahead and finish up the
So
story.
I get so we go play beer pong. We stay there for like an hour and a half, and that was cool. And then he's like, "All right, we're going to the other homie's house." I was like, "God damn!" Like at
I
this
just want to
point-
go home.
Like no, honestly,
What time is this?
At
5,
this point,
6?
no, it's like 6:30, 7 a.m. in the morning. And at this point, like honestly, like I'm tired.
The sun's out.
No, it's coming up,
It's coming up.
but I'm honestly like tired. Like,
You're like, I'm done.
I'm ready
I
to
gave
go.
up.
Yeah,
now.
I'm ready to go home.
Tapping out. I'm tapping.
And so but again, like I couldn't say that, you know, like I was still like, all right, fuck it, let's go.
I ain't no bitch.
Yeah, and
Y'all started late too.
yeah, like at 9.
Like you started at 9. That's
Yeah.
late.
Yeah,
Because
but
over
also-
here we'd be starting at like 6.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Jose,
6
maybe.
p.m. You know, like
No.
That's very
That's early as
you
shit.
think that's early?
yeah.
I don't know.
Jose's just alcoholic.
I'd be up till I would go with them all the way. I would go with them all the way. Me, that's why I said me and Dylan would be. That's his name, right?
Daniel, what
Daniel.
the fuck?
Me and Daniel would be best friends, dude. And me and his uncle,
Yo, I
bro,
have
we'd be
pictures.
best friends.
Let Mikey finish the story though.
I have pictures. So when we were on our way to the bar, and from the bar to the beer pong house, and then from that house to home, I think. Daniel's girlfriend had my camera, so she was taking pictures of us the whole night.
She mugged your shit.
Huh?
She
No, I
mugged
gave
your
it to
shit.
her. Like I gave it to her. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to take pictures. And
You're
she,
like,
she
"Please."
offered. She offered. She was like, "You want me to take pictures of you tonight?" And I was like, "Fuck it, let's go." So I didn't have to. I forgot about my camera. Had no fucking thoughts about that at all. But she was snapping pictures throughout the night. You can see me like I'm happy as fuck, and I'm like, yeah, in the pictures. And in the next picture, I'm just like on the ground somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I go to another fucking bar, and I'm out with the homies, and I'm doing this again. And then I'm on the fucking floor the next picture. My dude, like I was just like a roller coaster up and down the whole night. But so yeah, we go to this other homie's house. This is the last house we went to. But we're on our way, and Daniel was like, "Hey, come here," and like we separate from the group, and at this point, like I'm stumbling and shit going down the street, and I'm like, "All right, let's go," and I'm just like following him, and we arrive at this big ass like mansion, and there's like a big iron gate with it, and Daniel was just like, "Shh, like be quiet," and I was like, "Okay," and he just like lifts the fucking like the door and slides open this big ass gate, and he's like, there's like this like those crates that they do, and they recycle their crates, and so there's like a big stash of like crates, and then next to it these people were just like so well off they had already beers just like sitting in crates right there. So he was like, grab a beer. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And I'm usually not like
I'm
this.
surprised you hung out this late.
I'm saying. And like, usually like, I would never do some shit like this. Like, I'm just figuring like, I'm in Germany, I'm drunk as
You
fuck.
had to.
I'm just like, all right, fuck it. And so I just like grab a drink. And then everyone else starts following. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then Daniel's just like, go, go, go. And he's pushing me further and further into this house. Or like into their yard.
You're like, I'm about to die.
Yeah, and I like didn't know what to think. But I was like, we'll be fine. Like, it's going so fast in my mind. But I'm like, they don't use guns over here. Like, the worst thing will happen is just like, I don't know.
You get jumped or something. I don't know.
Not even that. Like, there was a big squad of us. It was just like, we would get in trouble and we would all run or some shit. Like, that's some shit I would do here. Like, if I got busted, I would just dip the fuck out.
Yeah.
But again, I'm drunk as fuck. I'm not going to be able to do that. But it was just all running through my head as I'm just like getting pushed into this fucking yard. And he's like, he grabs him one and he like pops my beer open and he pops his open. And we're just like drinking and we're getting closer to this house. And then there's like a guest house over here. And he's like, shh, be quiet. And so we're all just like tiptoeing. And Daniel opens this fucking guest house door. And he just like walks in. And he's like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, shh, be quiet. And so I just like walk in and I'm like, oh, fuck. And he turns on the light. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, this guy just like yells. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing in my house? And dude, I almost dropped my beer. Like, I almost fell. And like, he was like, no, I'm just fucking with you. It was the guy's house that we were going to. And it ended up him being just like rich as fuck with this guest house. And he like snuck
cool
in.
Shit.
Yeah, he snuck in through the... Well, he was with us. He was with us the whole time. But he like snuck in through the back. And like, they were just all fucking with me. And yeah, they got me pretty good.
And that's the drunkest you've ever been?
That's the drunkest I've ever been. And then 10 minutes after that, I was in the yard because they have pictures of it. Like, I don't remember much of it, but they have pictures of it. And I'm just like next to the fucking gate and I'm just like puking.
Yakking?
Yeah, just puking.
Oh my God.
And then there's another picture and I'm just like on the lawn chair and I have like this gun, like a little toy gun or some shit, and I'm just like pointing at the camera. And then like and then after that I don't even remember how I got home.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So, to kind of...
Hey, Germany sounds lit as fuck.
That's why I'm going there.
to kind of wrap
I've
this...
never even thought about putting that on my bucket list, but now I want to. And especially once you move there, I'm going to have to.
Come through, my dude. Come through.
Now to kind of wrap up the podcast, you want to move there.
Yes.
You eventually want to move there. That's something that you want to do in the future.
Yes.
Is move to Germany.
Yes. In August, I'm trying to sign. I talked to somebody the other day while I was at work, and I just had some spare
So
time.
you just said the whole fuck EMT thing?
No, I still have it. I'm gonna do that for the year and like save up and do my thing. But I'm kind of in a limbo right now because that's what scares me the most. Is I am 23, and it's okay if you don't know what you want to do, but I plan very far ahead, and I want to know like kind of where I want to steer towards, and I don't know if I want to do the whole medical thing anymore. Like, I haven't been able to smoke in so long, like, conveniently when I want to. And it's not because I want to smoke. I just miss that freedom of just, like, being able to...
Trust me, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like, just be able to smoke when I want to smoke. And
Trust me, I know what you're talking about.
And I'm in my youth, and it's just, like, I don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, be in the medical field and, like, be that person, you know? Like, I don't know. So
It really all depends. Like we said before, you don't know where you're going to be in a year from now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, Mikey, I do want to thank you for coming on the podcast, man. I appreciate you, man.
My dude, thank you.
I appreciate you for coming on the fucking podcast.
Third time's a charm.
Third time is a charm. We've tried to record
Thank you
this.
for sitting through that.
For sure.
We've tried and recorded this like 3 different times. I'm glad we finally were able to get it done. We will have you on again because there's more stuff we have to talk about.
Hell yeah,
there's
Stay
a lot.
tuned, homies.
Yeah, so this episode was strictly your Europe trip, but we have a lot more to get to in the future. So we have to cheers before we can get out. How do you say it?
Prost.
Prost.
Yeah.
Prost. UD.
Prost, Prost, mates.
Nah, fuck beer next time. We're gonna take some shots.
Bro, you ain't ready. Appreciate everybody for listening. Appreciate Mikey for coming on. Episode 8. Thank you guys for listening. And we will see y'all next week for another episode, man.
Oh, wait a minute. And just... the day is always the day to be jiggy and do what the fuck you want to do. And you can wake up tomorrow and be like, I want to go somewhere.
Yes,
and you
sir.
can do it. You can do it, my dude. And
Yeah.
there's a fucking world out there. And people say it's such a small place.
That's what I said earlier.
Bro, it's not.
That's what I said
it's
earlier.
So big, and there's so much shit out there. Like, bro, do shit.